Welcome to Illo Talk. I am Cory Kerr, and this is 100 Days of Animation, days 81 and 82, where I spend a minimum of 30 minutes every day working on my short film and teach myself how to animate. And today, I'm going to talk about something that I think is really important. Playing the hero or playing the victim. Before that, intro music. So I gave a presentation yesterday talking about whether it's better to be a hero or a victim. And obviously everybody was like, oh, don't be a victim. Being a victim is dumb, right? You should be a hero. I think both are very problematic. Let's first start with why it's not a great idea to be a victim, because those are the obvious ones, right? Somebody who is a victim, everything happens to them. They don't take action. Things happen to them. They're not responsible for anything. There's a lot of blame going on. It's not my fault. Look at all this stuff that's happening around me and to me, right? But while some of those things might be true in both of these situations, while some of these things might be true, it's not a powerful position to be in. It's a weak position to be in. And I'm not saying that somebody who has been victimized is weak. What I am saying is somebody who chooses to play the part of a victim, somebody who plays that role, is choosing to be in a powerless position. And so if you're at work or you're in a client relationship or whatnot, if in your day-to-day interactions, you're constantly saying, look at all these things that are happening to me. Look at all these people that are oppressing me or treating me poorly or, whatever. This is the woe is me mentality, right? That type of mentality is really problematic for a number of reasons. The main reason, though, is that it's perpetual. There's nothing that you can do when you are blaming other people to get out of those situations. If you don't like what's going on, playing the victim is not going to solve that problem. You might get some people on your side. You might get some people that tell you, and you get this sympathy and whatever. But it's not a powerful position to be in. It's not a position that will help you fix that situation, improve that situation, improve yourself, improve those around you, lift everybody up. There's nothing like that that's going to happen. So playing the victim is really problematic, right? The other thing that is equally problematic that most people don't think of is being a hero. And playing the hero is very problematic as well because it's not authentic, right? You are constantly going to seek for approval. You're going to seek for proof of your heroics and proof that you should be worshipped or idolized. And the problem with that is you become a ladder climber, right? These are the people who everything around them, including people, become rungs on the ladder to their success, right? And if you think of the heroes, true heroes of Greek tragedy, where the word originated, they were the center of the story. Do we know anything about the Argonauts? No, they were kind of disposable. That story was about Jason, right? Do we know anything about Hercules' family? Not really, other than to further the story, they were slaughtered. And some versions of the story, he was driven mad and did it. In any case, it doesn't matter. But the point is that they become a bragger. If you are playing the hero, then you're a puffer fish, and you're looking for any way to puff yourself up, to make yourself look bigger, stronger, better, more intelligent than everybody else around you. And so being a hero is equally problematic. And the reason is it's also not authentic, and you are not thinking of the situation realistically, right? In the real world, and I don't use the term real world often, especially with my students. We are temporal beings experiencing the world right now. And so what we experience right now is reality, right? And that's why I'm using the term real world right now. I'm not talking about the industry. I'm not talking about the workforce. I'm talking about in this existence, in this plane of existence where we are right now, this shared experience that we're all having with each other. In reality, you are not the center of the universe, okay? The sun does not revolve around me. Everybody else is not a character in my story, right? And what happens is is that if we start to think of ourselves as a victim or a hero, and some people like to play both roles, then you start to see everybody as either a sycophant or somebody who will worship you, or somebody who is going to oppress you. Everybody becomes either a villain or a soldier in your story. And that's not what life is about. That's not who everyone is. And so if you're going through your day, if you're going through your life, and you are constantly just viewing everybody as a really binary situation, are they for me or are they against me? Well, some of them don't care about you. Some of them do care about you. All of them are people that have their own wants and desires and are dealing with their own stuff, and they're in their own story. And so viewing everything through the really myopic lens of I'm either a hero or a victim is turning everyone else around you into an object or into a secondary flat character in your narrative. And the problem with that is that both of these things are I, me, right? I'm the hero, I'm the victim, look what everyone is doing to me, look at all the people who love me. And the problem with that is that you're not viewing those around you as people. You're viewing those around you as objects or things to be manipulated, used, spent, or traded. And if you do that, you will be massively unhappy. You will have no real relationships. And it's this perpetuating thing where you're constantly trying to feed that role that doesn't really exist. No one in reality, no one in actual real life is a hero or a villain, okay? And they're not, a hero or a victim, right? There are things that happen to us on a daily basis. There are things that we succeed at on a daily basis. And those are all true things. But viewing those things as definable of your entire existence and the way that you portray yourself to everybody else, that's where the problem comes in. And so instead of being a hero or a victim, I would rather that I be accountable, right? I would rather that I be authentic, right? And authenticity is this word that's starting to become a buzzword that everybody is throwing around or whatever. But as an existentialist, I've believed in authenticity for a really long time. And the idea of being authentic to yourself, to thine own self be true, as Polonius put it, is something that's been around for quite a long time. And with that, I think that you can still accept your successes, and you can still, experience your failures and the times where things aren't going your way. But if you do that in an authentic light and you take it as a full picture, then it's going to be a lot more real, and you will view other people with empathy. And I think one of the main things that will help you to not become a hero or a victim in your own mind is if you have empathy. Now, why does empathy have anything to do with it? Well, empathy is the ability to feel or view the situation or the world through somebody else's eyes, right? And so instead of going into a situation and saying, this is how it affects me, and this is how I want to do things, you go into a situation and you say, I wonder how they feel about this. What are they thinking? What do they want in this situation? What are they coming out of it, right? And you don't do that in a way to manipulate, but you're doing that by way of understanding, right? And so every culture has kind of this idea. In Christianity, they call it the golden rule, where you do unto others as you would have them do unto you. In Hinduism and Buddhism and Eastern religions, we're talking about karma, where the things that you do will come back to you. In the law of the harvest, where it's basically what you reap, you shall sow, right? And so whatever you put out there is going to come back to you, right? And if you have empathy for everybody around you, right? And you try to, it's impossible to have perfect empathy, but I think if you try to empathize with people, you try to sympathize with people, and you try to get out there and say, okay, I'm seeing this from my perspective. Let me see if I can see this from their perspective. Then what it does is actually the people around you become people rather than objects. They become human beings that are individuals and are separate from you rather than a character in your story. And as you're doing that with your spouse, with your significant other, with your family, with your coworkers, with random strangers in the street, with people that cut you off on the freeway, as you do that, you'll actually start to view the world in a really authentic way. You'll be a lot happier. And it's also a significantly powerful position to be in. And when I talk about power, I'm not talking about the power to dominate or the power to control. What I'm talking about is the ability to act, the ability to control things in your life, the ability to do something to improve the things that are happening in your life. And so if you're accountable, then you will own your failures as a responsible party, right? And that's really hard to do because we don't like that feeling, right? But when I fail, I want to say, okay, here's the things that I did wrong. And the reason that I want to say that is not to beat myself up, not to get depressed, not to go through and just say, you're a bad person, you should feel terrible about yourself, but to say, okay, here are the things that I did wrong so that I can improve, right? Is there anything that I can fix now, or is there anything that I can do differently in the future, right? And those two things are super helpful to understand. And so you own your failures to the point of action, but not to the point of depression, right? And the other thing is that you own your wins, but you own your wins as a team. Right? And so when something good happens, that happened because, yes, you had a part to play in it. And yes, you have done some amount of work. But you're not an island. No man is an island, right? So when the success bell tolls, it tolls for thee and for everybody else that helped you out and everybody else that helped you get there and everything else that happened with that, right? And if you own your successes as a team, then you also avoid that idea of trying to gather sycophants and followers and worshipers and set yourself up as a hero, right? I got here because of, my hard work, but also because of the support of these people and the help that these people gave me. And, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, basically. The only reason that my dad teaches high school, and he always has people say, I always have students tell him, oh, that's stupid. I'll just do that on a computer. And he reminds them, okay, could you build a computer? Yeah, I know how to build computers. I know how to do the chipsets and stuff like that. And he's like, if I dropped you off by yourself in the middle of a desert island, right? And you had all the food and water that you needed, you could survive. You didn't have to worry about survival. How long would it take you to build a computer? You couldn't do it. You don't know anything about silicone. You don't know anything about, the parts that go into these things. You don't understand the progression from vacuum tubes to whatever replaced vacuum tubes, right? I don't even know. And so if we're going to that, you're standing on the work that everybody else has done. You're standing on the successes collectively of us as a community and the individuals that built things to allow you to be where you are. Plus, the situation that you're in right now is supported by those that are around you. And if you have any measure of success, that measure of success is measured by those that are around you and supporting you and fans of your work, or sharing the things that you're producing, or giving you positive or negative feedback, right? And the main thing, and this is where it becomes really powerful, is if you're not playing the victim or the hero and you're trying to be accountable for all of your actions, you're going to be a problem solver. Right? You're going to bring solutions rather than problems. You're going to bring solutions rather than victories. Okay? And so a problem and a victory, those are events that happen outside of your control, right? The solution to those things, overcoming it, or the way that you are viewing it, the way that you present it to other people, the solution to those things is where the power is. And enacting that solution, that's where the power is, right? And in existential theory and philosophy, You are defined not by your thoughts, not by your words, but by your actions. The things that you do, the things that you have done in the past, the things that you are doing currently, the things that you will do in the future are the things that make up who you are. And so taking a position of powerlessness where you have to be worshipped to be a hero, or you have to be victimized to be a victim, and everything is happening to you and around you, but you're not actually doing anything or acting anything, you're just portraying things a specific way, is a powerless position to be in. But if you can go out and you can take the power for yourself and you can say, these are the things that I am going to do with the thoughts and feelings and experiences that I'm having right now. I'm accountable for them. And even though other people are involved, they are not causing my problems. And the way that I react to those is completely up to me. So in any case, there's a big long rant about whether it's better to be a hero or a victim, and my answer is neither. It's better to be real and be authentic and have empathy for those around you. So as far as the animation goes, what I'm actually working on right now is I'm trying to do this scene. So we have, let me just show you real quick. So we've got this guy, oops, come over, it'll be fun. This guy's flying this direction, and then he goes into kind of a dive bomb, and then he crashes down and attacks. And so I hated that. And so I didn't like the way that I drew it. And so I'm actually going through here and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do these. So I'm posing him, right? Here's his deal here. And then you can see that, you know, he kind of can tuck and roll there. So he'll tuck into kind of where his shell is closed and you don't see his wings. And then he kind of opens up. And you can see I've got kind of the 3 different stages. So I'm still working on the animatic here. You got 3 different stages of the wings going, right? So I was kind of working out how that would function. And then I played a lot with trying to do kind of the actual movement and the motion and the diving. And I'm still not certain whether I want him to kind of go up and do kind of like a jackknife dive, or whether I want to kind of have him like swoop around in a loop. But this jackknife dive would be kind of cool because he would go up and then tuck into a ball and kind of spin and then come out of it in kind of a straight line. I'm thinking of having him more be like a straight line. But this would be kind of fun as well because he could fly all the way around the loop. But I just don't think I could have him tuck and roll, and I think I want him to tuck and roll. So anyway, I'm just kind of working some things like that out. There's a few other things that I'm doing as well, and so you can see that I'm trying to get like this reverse shot situation going on. There's also like this guy, and I've been working on those, and you've seen a lot of these already. But I'm just doing the different pieces of everything basically. And so I'm just kind of doing them up and working on the animatics. So kind of further fleshing out the storyboards and everything like that. Thanks for watching. This has been day 81 and 82 of 100 Days of Animation on Illo Talk. I am Cory Kerr, and as always, you can find my stuff at kuretake.com. Leave a comment, subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, tattoo it to the back of your forehead. I don't know how you do the back of your forehead. I see the inside of your skull. Not sure what I was trying to say there. In any case, we'll catch you guys later. I'm out.